Hello everyone. This video covers LT-SPICE simulation of an inverting operational amplifier. This is an internal block diagram of an operational amplifier where first stage is a differential stage followed by other gain stages. Level shifter eliminates any DC offset coming from previous stages which might otherwise saturate the output due to high gain. So I have already drawn the schematic in LT-SPICE, otherwise the video would be quite long. So you can just pause the video to see the connections I have made here. And now let me explain the schematic here. So there are two supplies, namely VDD and VSS of 1.8 and minus 1.8 volts respectively, according to 180 nanometer technology. The schematic consists of a current mirror circuit here, a differential amplifier, which I am rounding here. This is a differential amplifier, and followed by a common source amplifier. So the overall gain is the gain of differential amplifier multiplied by the gain of common source amplifier under open loop condition. But we are making it as an inverting amplifier under a suitable feedback. So the current source supplies a current of 100 microampere to this M7 NMOS, whose dimensions are length is 180 nanometer and width I have selected as 4 micrometer, so that it can support the current of 100 microampere. Now this current of 100 microampere will be mirrored to M6 and M8 because the dimensions of M6 and M8 are exactly same as that of M7. So both of them will be having the current of 100 microampere. Now this 100 microampere of current through M6, it must be coming from M4 and M5. So both M4 and M5 must be able to supply 50 microampere of current each. Therefore, the width of M4 must be half the width of tail transistor, which is M6. So that's why we have selected it as 2 micron. M5 is also 2 micron. Lengths of all the transistors are same, which is 180 nanometer. And similarly, PMOS I have also selected as 2 micrometer and 180 nanometer each, because each branch will be having a current of 50 microampere. This PMOS and this NMOS will be supporting current of 100 microampere. Therefore, their widths must be 4 micrometer each. So there is 4 micrometer, and M8 also 4 micrometer and 180 nanometer. And finally, there is a load capacitance of 10 picofarad. VSS is sufficient to bias these transistors M4 and M5, at which we'll be applying input. So these M4 and M5 transistors are there, and we will be connecting whatever input we are having at their gate terminals. So this VSS voltage minus 1.8 must be sufficient so as to bias these transistors M4 and M5 and to turn them on. If I connect ground here instead of minus 1.8 volt, then I will need suitable DC biases here along with the input at the gates of M4 and M5. So we do not need that because I have connected VSS as minus 1.8. Now let us try to figure out which terminal is inverting and which one is non-inverting. So let us assume that I apply input at this terminal, which I have designated as non-INV. So let us apply the input here. This terminal for a differential amplifier will serve as an AC ground. So it is a common source amplifier. It will work as a common source amplifier. So the output is taken across drain and hence must be 180 degree out of phase with respect to input. Now this output of differential amplifier is again available as input to the next stage. So this is going to the gate of PMOS. This terminal of PMOS is source, which will serve as AC ground in AC analysis. Hence, this is also a common source amplifier. So already the output was 180 degree out of phase, and again the final output with respect to the signal at gate terminal of PMOS will be 180 degree out of phase. So we can say that the net output will be 360 degree out of phase with respect to input connected at non-INV terminal. Hence, input and output are in same phase. That's why this terminal is working as a non-inverting terminal. Similarly, we can figure out that this terminal will be working as an inverting terminal. Now, if we see the basic configuration of an inverting amplifier, we have a feedback resistance from output to the inverting node, and then we have a resistance through which input is applied. So the same thing is done here in schematic. The output is connected through a feedback resistor of 10 kilo ohm to the inverting node, and at inverting node we are applying a sinusoid voltage of 10 millivolt amplitude and frequency of 10 kilohertz. So this is a sinusoid input. So this resistance is of 1 kilo ohm, this is of 10 kilo ohm. So the gain offered by the amplifier must be minus R2 by R1, which is minus 10. So let us see this in transient analysis. So I just run it, and the stop time I give it as 0.5 milli. Okay. So let us see. This is my schematic. So this is my input signal, a sinusoid of 10 millivolt. And now let us check the output signal. The output is represented in blue. As you can see, the output is from 100 millivolt to nearly minus 100 millivolt. That is 10 times of that of input and 180-degree out of phase. Hence, it is verified that output is out of phase with respect to input, and also the gain of 10 is being offered by the amplifier, which is in sync with what we obtained theoretically. So this is the transient analysis of this amplifier. Now we'll be doing AC analysis of this amplifier to have its Bode plot. So what I do here, I just go to this input signal, I right click, I select it as none, and in AC amplitude I give it as 1. Why 1? Because in AC analysis we need the plot of gain. The gain is output divided by input. So if I am keeping input as 1, then I just need to plot output, and that itself will represent the gain. So let us keep it as 1, and okay. So you will see AC1 here. Now I go to simulate, edit simulation command. I go to AC analysis now. Type of sweep, we need decade. Number of points, I just choose them to be 100. Start frequency 1 Hertz, and stop frequency we can select it to be say 10 megahertz or 100 megahertz, 100 MEG. Okay, I just place it here, and now I run it. Okay, so now I go on to select the output node out, and this is the AC analysis of my amplifier. So the gain was 10, so 20 log 10 is 20 dB. So you can see that the gain, low frequency and midband gain, is 20 dB. Since op-amp falls under the category of directly coupled amplifier, it does not have any lower cutoff frequency, but it will only be having higher cutoff frequency due to internal compensation. So this dark line represents magnitude plot, and this dotted line represents the phase plot. So we can see what is the cutoff frequency also. So this must be 17 dB. So this is nearly 17 dB, at which frequency is 2.21 megahertz. So the upper cutoff frequency is 2.21 megahertz for this amplifier, and there is no lower cutoff frequency. And of course, the midband gain is 20 dB. So this completes our AC analysis of the amplifier. So the video completes with transient analysis of an inverting op-amp and its AC analysis. Thank you.